Hello, it's Jennifer and Diane, and we're getting ready to do our podcast today from merely surviving to successfully thriving. And you can catch our podcast on anywhere you listen to your podcasts. We're all over the place now. And today we decided to talk about faith and what faith means to me for today. I have been through a lot of bad times in the last 2 years. Has to be probably the worst 2 years I've ever had in my life. I lost my father. I almost drowned in the hurricane in my car. I'm going through a divorce. I'm getting ready to make a big move. Well, that's a good thing. But the one thing that has always stayed constant in my life is my faith. And my faith has gotten me through some hard times. I remember just, every night when I go to bed and I'm feeling down and I pray, and I never pray for God to take away what I'm going through because I know that I need to go through it in order to get to the other side. So I just pray for faith and for his guidance to lead me and some peace going through it, but never to take away my pain because my pain has taught me so much. I am such a different woman today than I was. And if you would have talked to me even 6 months ago, I was living in fear. I was talking to my friend Charlotte about it. I talked to Diane about it. And, they laugh almost like, I can't believe how far you've come in such a short amount of time. My fear was crippling me. And until I was able to let that go and get some help from my friends, I was stuck. But as soon as I really kept praying about it, and my faith just took over, and I started setting boundaries. I got myself a job. I started to become self sufficient, and so many doors opened for me. And God has blessed me in ways that I never thought possible. I just got an apartment yesterday in Florida, and I have the means to move today, which I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of a couple of months ago. And I'm able to do this. And it's going to be the most fantastic place that I've ever lived in my life. I was laughing. I said, I even got a garage. I never had a garage for my car in my life. And, God just shows up for me. I had small expectations, things that I hoped to achieve, and he blows it out of the water. And my faith just keeps growing and growing because I know that no matter what happens, it's what's supposed to happen. It's in his time, not mine. And he leads me in the direction that I have to go in. And my life has been so blessed. And I finally found peace in my life, which I didn't have for a long time. I never had peace. And, I felt bad about myself. I could hold my head high today. I'm a responsible person. I'm able to help other people. A couple of years ago, I couldn't even help myself. I was useless, miserable, irritable, restless, discontent, just a total nightmare walking. And today, I'm proud. I could raise my head high. I don't have to lie. I don't cheat. I'm just I'm walking a straight path, and my faith has brought me through so many things that I never thought possible. And I'm so excited about my future, as I hope everybody out there can find some peace and be happy about their future. And I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jen. Oh my goodness. You know, you look at people when they talk and they tell us of their pasts and everything. And I've known you for a while, but I didn't know you when you were going through all that and having those feelings of hopelessness and self-doubt and all that. And I always think people are lying to me. You're lying. You were not like that, because the way you are now is such a huge difference from that. Like, you were never like that. Don't even tell me you were like that. And people, I'm like, please, like, And but I believe it because I know, like, I was there, you know what I mean? And I can be there right now. And it's just, it's unbelievable. Like, we've walked through the gates of hell and came back. And and it's really, really a blessing to, I mean, it's almost like, a paradox or oxymoron to say, you got to go to hell, come out. You know what I mean? It's pretty much the case for me. I had to be there. I lived there for a little while, and I kind of like put a couch and a TV in there and got comfortable, and then realized that's not where I belong. And I came back, and a lot of us did, and and that pain is a really big motivator. And I wasn't going to find my faith until that. Unfortunately for me, I had to go through a lot of stuff. I had to be in that really horrifying abusive relationship, and um, I had to go through some real dark periods in my life before and after that. And I had to look at and say, oh my goodness, like I chose to be in that. And I was like, whoa. So what enabled that to happen? What was I thinking about myself? What was my story that I was telling myself before I got into that relationship? And the stories that I was telling myself enabled me and made that relationship so that's funny, isn't it? How I told myself on a daily basis that I wasn't good enough. I told myself on a daily basis that I deserve to be mistreated. Literally, I told myself that every day, and I wanted it because it was familiar for me. So I deserve to be mistreated. Look how loud that is. Look, even me just saying it here with you right now is like, oh my goodness, if my daughters ever said that, if one of my kids ever said, I deserve to be mistreated, out loud. Like, just imagine saying it out loud, or I don't deserve good things. I'm not good enough. I have to do this because they want me to. I have to do this because everybody else is doing it. You know, um, it was never, I always reacted in a situation. I never really acted. I didn't act on my own behalf. I acted on what I thought I was supposed to do based on messages that I had deep within me from unaware people. They didn't know. They were unaware that they were unaware. They were unaware. And I took that on and I took it with me into adulthood, and I ran my life based on that. And it was funny because it really started happening after I put down any mind altering substances. Anything. What that could be anything. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be food, it could be cigarettes, it could be anything. You know what I mean? Cigarettes don't mind alter your mind, but they help me a lot. And so I did all of that stuff, and I realized, later on that, wow, I had to seek what I was used to. I had to seek and find what made me feel familiar, and comfortable. And the word familiar, you know what I mean? It's just like, that's another mind blowing thing that I found out too, is familiar comes from the word family, like, so our family really did not know, or maybe family comes from the word familiar, or vice versa, or whatever. But I like to play that on words, like, to help me understand. And and they didn't know. Everybody back then, you were raised, you instilled fear and guilt into your children so that they become good people. No, that's not it. I tried it. Trust me, it doesn't work. My daughters, you know what I mean? Like, I'm making amends, my living amends with them today. You know what I mean? About being, loving yourself, accepting yourself, respecting yourself, and doing things in your life that will promote that. You know what I mean? Like, I try to do a little bit every day for myself that's going to raise how I feel about myself in life, and give and receive love, give and receive love, give and receive. How can I give love today? Well, I'm not giving you any love if I feel like shit. You're not getting any from me. I have to do my readings in the morning. I have to center myself. I have to do my exercises. I have to eat healthy. I have to do a lot. I have to make sure I talk to you and I talk to all of our friends and I make it out to engagements and support and people that will lift me up. If I don't do all of those things, body, mind, and spirit, I'm screwed and you're not getting anything out of me that's any good. So I'm going to just pass that on to you and see what you have to say about that.
Well, what you were just talking about brought some things up for me. And, a huge part of my decision to do what I did and just walk away from my marriage, I mean, the signs were there. For years, the signs were there, but I lived in fear because I just tried to keep the family together. And my self-worth was absolutely in the toilet. I gained all this weight. I was miserable. So now I lost weight, feeling better. But it took until my husband was having an affair with a married woman. So, it's kind of funny because they deserve each other. Two married people cheating, like it's a whole sick thing. And them lying to each other, them lying to me. Like it was so crazy. I said, I had to just step out of this because at the very end, he was trying to talk me into we could have an open relationship. And for about 10 seconds, that went in my mind, like, should I just go along with this? Because I'm afraid to be by myself, to take care of my bills. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I had a moment of like major, major fear. And thank God I snapped out of it. I made 2 phone calls and I did a complete 360 on that. I was like, I don't deserve that. And not only do I not deserve that, what kind of an example am I to my 14-year-old daughter that knows about this, that I'm sitting here not doing anything about this? So I mean, it took an extraordinary amount of courage for me to get up, put him out, keep him out, and be done with it. I deserve so much better for myself. That was never love. Somebody that loves you doesn't do that to you. So if you're going through something like this, get out. Get out and don't waste another minute on it because it's just so not worth it. And, I don't know what the plans are down the line. I'm not looking for anything right now, but, who knows? Maybe God will finally send me real love. But until that happens, I have my friends and family who lift me up. They build me up. They protect me. They're here for me. They treat me with respect. They love me unconditionally. They accept me for who I am. And they don't put, there's no strings attached. Like I go through that too with some people in my family that, I have to do this in order for this to happen. And what is that? I'm running far away from that. I don't want to say I'm running, but I'm so looking forward to a fresh start in my life. And I feel like God has been in it every step of the way. I always ask him for signs. And when I was suspicious with this whole cheating thing, I asked God for signs and he threw bombs, like dropped bombs. It was like crazy. All the evidence that I got, like so fast. But he needed to do that because it was easier for me to live with my head under the sand and pretend like I don't know what's going on in the world just to keep a roof over my head. It was sick. It was so sick. And when I look back at it, I don't even know how I was doing it. It doesn't even make any sense to me today because it's so not how I live today. And I don't accept behavior from people that's not appropriate. I don't do it. And if I have to shut it down, walk away, that's what I do today because I'm not putting up with it. I don't deserve it. My daughter's been getting bullied at school. I'm proactive on that, not very hopeful, and I'm actually very happy that I'm moving out because not much gets done about that either. But I'm trying to build her up to be a strong woman who sticks up for herself, who doesn't put up with people's bullshit and gets treated correctly. And it brings tears to my eyes because she says to me now, Mom, I'm so proud of you. And she's like, you know what? If it's going to be just me and you, it's going to be me and you against the world, Mommy. And I'm so ready to move to Florida. I can't wait for this new adventure. And that is like astronomical to me. And that's what our faith gets us. Um, I feel so blessed. I don't even know what else to say about it, but I want to hear what you think.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, there's just like emotional maturity that you get from, being in that hell for a while and then coming out on the other side. You get this feeling like, it's hindsight. Like, I didn't really acquire any faith until I went through a lot and was able to look back and see where I was. And I always tell people that I'm talking to or feeling like, if somebody's reaching out for help, like, look back, just look back in your life. Don't like, I'm not saying that we should live in the past, but look back, go way back and just remember, like, what got you through it? What got you through all that? There was always, when I was in my deepest despair, at my hour of need, when I needed it most, there was somebody or something that crossed my path, that came in front of me, that I was redirected to think about. So, like, there was a person. I remember I was breaking up. I was, really breaking up. Like, my old relationship, my ex, was just like blowing up. Everything was starting to come to a head. And my girlfriend came over with her husband. She sat there with me, and she made me listen to this music that she had. You know what I mean? Like, you have to listen to this every day. And then when you're done with this, you have to listen to this and you have to listen to this. You know what I mean? And she's like, you don't do anything until you listen to these songs. I was like, what? And then one of the songs is Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. One of them was, um, I don't know, Pick Yourself Up. Like, it was like a real old song. Is a something like, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You know what I mean? I get knocked down. And so you have to listen to these songs every day. And I'll never forget that. And she has since passed. Actually, she was like one of my best friends. She had some cancer that took her out, like, in 2017. But and her husband was there too, Tommy, and he was at the window looking down at the basement at my ex, who was with his girlfriend, taking stuff out of the basement of our basement to go live with her while I was about, I don't know, 3 months pregnant. So there's my aha moment. Oh, I guess this is not a good ideal situation for me. You know what I mean? So that was my aha. But it took all that to get for the light bulb to come on, to say, all right, I definitely need and deserve better things in my life. But I had to go through hell to feel and to get that. And my faith, like in the past, there's always been somebody God put there. I don't know if I would have survived that if she wasn't there. Like, that he's there doing that. I'm like, I don't know if I would have survived that. I really don't know if I would have survived that. And then there was a lot of other people too that just came when I was younger, like an aunt, like somebody would always be there to lift my spirits and make me feel like everything was going to be okay. When I didn't ever feel that way, I always felt like, hopeless and helpless all the time. Hopeless and helpless, helpless and hopeless. You put those two together and you're like, you're done. And so I went through life pretty much feeling that way until somebody would always come and make me feel a little bit better. I remember it was actually a boyfriend of my sister's. He came over, and I wasn't in a really bad way yet. I was just like 16 years old or whatever. And he came over, and I remember back in the day, you used to braid the front of your hair and it would be all kinky in the front. And he said to me, boy, I look the way your hair looks. the way that you did that. I've never seen your hair like that before. That looks really cool. Lori, did you take a look at her hair? Look at the way she did her hair." And she was looking at him like, you know, not in a, he wasn't doing it in a an inappropriate way. He was just saying, "Look," and she goes, "Yeah, like does look good." So he was like this vessel for like, having her compliment me because she wanted to do it in front of him. And that day, I was just like, I felt so good just from that little compliment, that little tiny thing that I just needed. And it made me feel like great for the next. I did my hair like that all the time. And you know what I mean? It was just one of those things. Like there's always someone God puts in your path or something. Like it could be like something that you need to do, something that you need to, like, just I'm transitioning from the atmosphere in the salon and this and that. And all of a sudden I'm getting all these calls to go do this one's here, to go fix that one's here, to go bring this one in, to go do this one, do that one. So like, I'm not even asking for it. It's just coming. And it's because if one door closes, another one opens. But sometimes that door has to close. And that's the funny part. If that door didn't close, all these other doors wouldn't have opened. It's like this magnetic effect. One door closes, boom, another one opens. Another one door is closed, another one opens. And it's like, but the doors don't seem to open until the doors that you need closed are closed. And it's like just taking that leap of faith. So it's like really, really a good thing. So I just wanted to pass that on to you because I really do believe like doors close, doors open. It's never door closed, door closed, door closed, door closed, and you're stuck in this dark hallway and sitting there going, "What do I do now? I need a candle or something. But I'll pass it off to you.
I think about too, how I'm always asking God for direction, and I quiet myself so I can listen and observe where He wants me to be. Because I was set to go October 3rd to Florida, to Fort Myers. So a completely different place than where I'm actually going to be living. And they got the hurricane. So that rattled me a little. I was like, oh my God. And now, next week I have to get my knee surgery. How am I going to do this? And I said, you know what? This will all work out. And I had a target date to December 1st. So one of my friends from my town actually just moved to St. Augustine, and she's like, why don't you try here? Come and visit me and check it out. And I got this wonderful realtor. I'm like, you know what? 2 weeks after my knee surgery, hop on a plane, go out to Florida. She hooks me up with this realtor. We start talking about God, and it was just amazing. He made me feel so safe. Like I'm a single woman in a different state. Aside from my friend, I don't know anybody, no family there. And, I was able to trust him to find me the best place that he could find me in an excellent community, a gated community with a great school. And, then I get back and the one place I was going for fell through. So now I'm trusting him to go out and look for me while I'm sitting here in New Jersey. I got 3 weeks before I'm getting ready to move, and another door opens. And it's actually a nicer place than the one that I was actually trying to get first. It's like, so God shut that door on that one because there was a better one for me. And it just happens time after time after time. Like he just shows up in my life. So, it's not even subtle anymore. As my faith grows, I could see the miracles that he's putting in my life. And I just see his hand in this move. Because I'm not going to lie, at first I was a little bit nervous to just pack up everything, and take my daughter, leave the state, hop on it, like it. And some people, have negative comments to say to me, oh, you're going to leave your family, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And I'm like, within 3 hours, I could be home if I ever needed to be. There's FaceTime. We have the social media. It's really not that far away. But you know what? I'm trying to do what's best for me and my daughter now. I used to always do whatever I thought was better for everybody else and never take my own feelings into it. And I live so different than that today because being able to love myself and take care of myself, I fix my hair, I buy myself new clothes, I get my nails done. I'll go for a massage when I want to. I go out to eat. I went to the beach yesterday because it was unseasonably warm. It was beautiful. I take care of myself today. And that was funny too, because I went to the beach because that's a place that I really find a lot of peace. And I had some things that I needed to get off my chest. And I let those things out and they roll right out to the sea. And then that's it. Done. So, I spent some time with the Lord at the beach. And then my phone starts ringing. My apartment. Got it. I didn't even know I was going to find out yesterday, but it's just funny how I'm just sitting there present with the Lord, and then the sun's shining beautiful, and the phone call. It's like you can't even make this up. It's like it should be in a movie, like an inspirational movie. I used to have my life was a horror story, and now I'm living an inspirational. It's just and the blessings just keep coming, and me being this way and having self-respect, and I love myself today, it makes me so much more available to help other women, to be there for other people where I couldn't be there for myself. How was I ever to be a good mother, to be a good sister, a good friend? I wasn't capable of being anything to anybody. And I'm so much more than that today. And God, I just think He has a plan for me when I get there. I already found a church to go to that has excellent things like a youth ministry for my daughter. So I hope to get her around some nice new welcoming friends and, just start this new year out right. And I think like the best is yet to come. And those doors just keep opening. I haven't had really any closing lately, but I had to have a few big, gigantic doors slam before I was ready to see those doors that were opening. And God shows up every single time, hasn't failed me yet. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I just feel super blessed.
Thank you very much. I just remembered while you were talking that somebody showed me a picture. You can just see memes and pictures of things online all the time. People send them to you and you get it. And it's this little inspirational quote or whatever, but it's just a picture of Jesus sitting there with a real huge bear behind him. And he's trying to take the little one from the little girl. She's got this little, like, beat up old bear, and she wants that one so bad. And he's trying to take it from her, and she's going like this. No, you're not getting this bear. It's mine. I love it. I'm not giving it to you. And behind him is this huge, plush, beautiful bear behind him so that is I think there's even words on it, but I didn't even care. It's the picture itself just speaks volumes, about he's got bigger things. Bigger things are happening, bigger things are being worked on right now as we speak. I'm being worked on right now as we speak in my heart. And so are the people around me. And I've seen miracles happen in the people around me. And I've seen miracles happen within myself. So it's definitely real. It's real. This isn't just, flighty talk about, oh, I think if I just have, you know what I mean? Like, I really found it to be real. And that's the thing, is back in the day, you know, 15 plus years ago, let's just say like 10 to 15 years ago, I didn't think it was real. I really thought like my faith that I had it's not really real. It's like just this thing that everybody does just to feel better or whatever. And that's how I thought. And I'm like, but if I open my mind and I receive, I wasn't doing any receiving. I was doing a lot of, like they say, praying is talking to God and meditation is listening to Him. So I did that. I'm listening now, and I feel like I have more of an open mind and an open way of viewing things. So that's our podcast for today. We hope we were a beacon of light and hope for you all, and that you feel um, inspired and lifted up by us, because that's really the only reason why we're doing this. And we're going to just resume next week, and we're going to have a podcast every Wednesday We're looking to see about having a guest next week. We don't know who that's going to be, but we will definitely post it online when we find out. And I'm going to just pass it off to Jen to say goodbye, and we will see you next week. Mwah.
Ah, I enjoyed that today. That was neat. Like, I needed that. It was very uplifting. And I hope that anybody out there that's struggling or is having a hard time with their faith, that you find it, get some help. We're here to help. And we hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.